It is game 3 of the high school shot clock shootout in Canton, Ohio, here at the Memorial Fieldhouse. And we will have ladies action this afternoon here in Canton. Hi again, everybody. I'm Adam Mendoza, along with Cavs legend Campy Russell. So glad to have you along here on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network. Campy, you've seen some great basketball early on today. What do you think we're going to see when the ladies take the court?
Well, I expect these ladies to continue to add to the value that everybody has saw thus far this afternoon in terms of the good play. And now tonight, I expect these young ladies to come out and really play good basketball, because both of these teams, when you look at Richmond, they are a really good basketball team, and you look at Gilmour Academy, I mean, they're as well. So I expect a very good basketball game this afternoon.
Two local teams from Northeast Ohio coming down to Canton as we take a look at some of the other scores from today's shot clock shootout. Moon area, boy, out of Pennsylvania, they have impressed a lot of people this weekend. And then our game before us, St. Ignatius with a big win over McKinley. Then we have our game coming up next, Gilmour and Richmond Heights. But we still have two more great games coming up, as Stowe will be represented on the ladies' side against a very tough Olentangy team out of Columbus. And then it's going to be the Stowe boys taking on the Rangers of Lakewood. Well, everybody is all set for this game this afternoon. Game number 3 of 5 of a total of 15 games this weekend in Canton in the shot clock shootout. Adam Mendoza along with Campy Russell once again. And Campy, when you look at it, in Ohio, they don't get to play with the shot clock. Does that really change things for coaches, or are they just so playing at a fast pace that 35 seconds doesn't matter?
Well, to me, I think the 35 seconds really don't matter. I think you just have to go out there and just play the game the way it is. Don't get caught up into this clock game. And as long as they can do that, I think this game will go along really smoothly, because, again, they understand what they're trying to do. All they have to do now is just go play basketball and not worry about the clock. And
what's interesting is we have two teams from Cuyahoga County and Northeast Ohio coming down to Stark County to play basketball. And we are underway as Richmond Heights in the blue jerseys, as Gilmour in the white. So the Lady Spartans with the basketball as they work it first in the opening minute. Working it inside to Dixon. Her turnaround shot doesn't go, and the rebound by Rosso.
Well, right away, you look at Gilmour has decided that, hey, you know something, we're going to play a zone out here and not try to play man-to-man. That's a good drive there by this young lady, number 4.
That's Elaine Klein-Rominski.
Rominski, yes. Great shot.
So she comes in. She's the only returning starter. She is a big player for Coach Kevin Byrne and the Lady Lancers. Now Richmond Heights on their second possession of the ball game, working it inside, but they turn it over. There's Rosso once again leading the charge, driving it up the lane, kicking it out on the 3 from the corner, and that is hit.
And that was a good controlled fast break. You get the ball to the middle, somebody span out to the behind the three-point line, throw the ball to him, knock it down. Just good, solid basketball.
Tia Shaw with the basket for Gilmour. Now Richmond Heights, third possession. They do not come up with anything, as Gilmour playing very tough defense in the paint.
Well, it's about trying to get off to a great start, and they have done that thus far in these first 5 points that they have made. But again, you know, you look at Richmond, they have to just slow themselves down just a little bit and take a better read out there on the floor.
There you see Coach Eugene White, 7-2 for Richmond Heights. Last year, they were 21-5 in the regional semis. And with the state going to 7 divisions, Richmond Heights going down to Division 6. Boy, they avoided a big turnover right there on the drive. Going in, that one's missed by Maya Johnson. So far, Gilmour on a 5-0 run to start this ball game. Richmond Heights coming out man-to-man, and they are really trying to pressure that basketball. And you see the middle wide open, Campy.
Well, even though they're trying to pressure the ball, you know, you look at how Richmond wants to play. They want to get up into your face and really force you to make plays out there. But the other side of the ball is that you have to get to their shooters, because they look like they have outstanding shooters in terms of Gilmour.
Well, Richmond Heights is going to call timeout as Tia Shaw hits another three-pointer. She has 6 on the game. And right now, Gilmour has come out to an 8-0 run. As you see, Coach Kevin Byrne, his team is 3-4, but they're looking to get back. This is a team that has been to the state Final Four. Last time was in 2022, and they've got off to a very good start with that 8-0 run.
Well, Adam, what I see is a a young team or a team that just really understands what they're trying to do, and that is to get the ball to the open man. They're playing dribble penetration and kick out. Dribble penetration and kick out. They have great shooters on this team, and they're playing at the right pace. They're playing at good pace.
8-0 lead and an 8-0 run for Gilmour to start this ball game. Three-quarter court pressure being put on by Gilmour as Richmond Heights will walk it up the court.
They want them to do exactly what they're doing here, just taking the ball, slowing them down, allowing them to take some time off the clock, and just put them in these type of situations, because you look at Gilmour in terms of how they are, they want to put more pressure on you, and as long as they can keep that pressure on you, they are playing their way and their style of play.
That long three is missed by Alana Scott, and on that possession, you saw Richmond Heights slowing it down.
Yes.
And they have to be cognizant of that 35-second clock.
Well, I don't think they should get caught up in that clock at this particular point. They just have to understand that they have to do and play the way they want to play, and deal with whatever the consequences are as it relates to the clock. But don't start thinking about the clock. Just play your game.
Shaw had it. They'll work it out over to Celia Duffy. She is a 5'7" sophomore. Now she'll shoot it again off the back of the iron, but the rebound by Nalasha Comer coming in, and here comes Richmond Heights trying to get something going on the drive. Missing that one was Johnson. Had a good look at the basket.
Had a perfect look at it. She just did not have an angle. She had a bad angle and could not make that play.
Good ball movement around the arc. That three doesn't go as it's off the side of the iron, and it'll stay with Gilmour. I really like the movement of the ball from Gilmour in that possession.
Well, Gilmour, that's how they want to play. They know they have to play that way in terms of the ball movement, the body movement, being able to take fakes and being able to drive and get penetration, because they want the penetration, which is going to draw everybody to the paint, and then they're kicking the ball out to the shooters. Comer
coming up with a big block. Now Richmond Heights trying to go on some type of run to stop this 8-0 spurt. That one missing there by Raquel Dixon. And here comes Gilmour once again, still on that 8-0 run with 4:15 to go in the opening quarter here.
Again, Gilmour is just playing the way they want to play. Pass the ball, make cuts, set picks, and make yourself available around the basket for an easy basket right there. That's just textbook basketball by this Gilmour basketball team.
Morgan Funstein with a basket. She has two, and it is now a 10-0 run for Gilmour as the Lancers taking that big early lead. Now they get the ball on a nice interior pass, but that one was not hit by Honor Hall, and we'll have the ball going after the foul. Honor Hall will get called with the foul.
Well, again, it's all about ball movement and body movement. And you look at Gilmour, they're doing a superb job of that.
Morgan Funstein getting called with the foul. If that name's familiar, that's because her brother played in the game yesterday. And there on the step of the line was Elaine Klein-Rominski, who's the only returning starter for this Gilmour squad this year. They're going to count on her a whole lot during this season.
Well, I know one thing that this Richmond team have to do is that they have to try to get the ball into the inside, on the interior. And it has to come from some type of either ball movement or penetration. And if you don't get that penetration, then you're going to get just stalling the clock down. But you have to get penetration. And there it is right there. You have to get that kind of penetration, and you have to make the basket.
Honor Hall could not come up with a basket. She misses that. She averages 21 points a game, and Richmond Heights still looking for their first points of the game. Good anticipation of the pass there by Maya Johnson.
Well, Richmond they may be who they are, but they haven't settled down yet. They have to settle down because they have to get the ball inside to put pressure on Gilmour as well. And they're not doing it at this particular point.
2:50 remaining in the opening quarter. Shaw, who has a couple of threes on the day. And you watch Gilmour, they'll make that initial move, try the up fake, and then take it on the possible drive.
Yeah, well, again, they're playing at a good pace at this particular point. What Richmond have to do is speed the game up, particularly in a full court situation. And then they have to pass the ball.
Now they'll work it from the right side. They try to get that into the middle, but another turnover as Gilmour goes on the run. Klein Rominski with the easy bucket. She has 4 on the day, and it's a 12-0 run to start the game as the Richmond Heights squad now going almost 6 minutes without a bucket. Good pass underneath as Raquel Dixon, she's a 6'2 freshman.
Dribble penetration is what this Richmond team has to have. And if they don't get that penetration, it's going to be a long night for them.
So we'll have a jump ball situation. Coach Byrne was calling for the timeout as we'll take a look at the big fast break by Gilmour.
Well, that's what Gilmour wants to do. They want to get out and run every chance they get, and that is really how the game should be played. If you have an opportunity to run, make sure you get a basket.
Down to 1:46 to go as Richmond Heights, the Lady Spartans, finally getting a basket with it inside 2 minutes of that first quarter. I think they're going to probably settle down just a little bit more and, as you said, get more in their style of game as that one they work underneath. Good defense right there by Nalasha Comer. And that's a good stop.
And this is the area where they should flourish in terms of being aggressive and trying to get to the basket. You just can't just stop.
And there, good call by Coach Eugene White calling timeout as Maya Johnson was on the deck, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout. And one thing I'll ask you, this is not a typical high school gymnasium.
No, it's not.
Your sights as you look at the play here on that last play, she kind of blew out a tire and was lucky that she didn't get called for a walk.
Well, she definitely blew out a tire, but the thing about that, she has to be a little bit more under control and look and survey the situation and then make a determination whether she want to get to the mid-range area or drive and kick to a shooter or drive and dish to someone that can finish at the rim. They just have to become more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball instead of playing on the perimeter. When they play on the perimeter, they're playing right into Gilmour Academy's position.
Now, I was going to ask you, so this is not a typical high school gymnasium.
Mm-hmm.
You've got deep looks. How does that affect a shooter when they're not used to having that wall right behind them in the normal gymnasium?
Well, when you're shooting, the only thing you're supposed to be looking at is the rim, over the front of the rim, or the side of the rim. So just because this is a bigger building, that should not affect their shot, because when you shoot the ball, you're looking at a particular target, and most people are looking right over the front of the rim, and that was a good shot, good penetration shot there.
Maya Johnson missing that one again, and they have been getting good looks at the basket. They just have not been falling, but then there's another good drive. Just missing that is Klein Rominski. They'll battle for the basketball, and the young freshman getting it out to Johnson as she goes on the run, driving the lane, putting it up, and she will go to the free throw line.
And those are the kind of plays that, when you look at Richmond Heights, that is the kind of places they have to get, is to get out into the open floor. I think they're more comfortable in an open floor situation because that's when they can bring the pressure and get to the rim, as well as making plays to their teammates on the perimeter.
Demansky getting called with the foul. She is a freshman, 5'10". At the free throw line is Maya Johnson. She averages 14 points a game and just front of the rim that time. Gilmour ran out to a 12-0 lead before Richmond Heights got on the board. We're down to 42 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And Johnson picks up her first points of the game coming from the free throw line, 12-3. Good pressure.
And this is what they want to do, put the pressure on them.
Open three from the sideline, doesn't go there. They get the offensive rebound, working it back out, and there's Maya Johnson to pick it off as she goes on the run. Gets that one in high off the glass.
That was a good defensive play by the Richmond team.
15 seconds remaining. Here's another big three. That one's wide, and it will stay with Gilmour. As you saw, Coach, out of the corner of my eye, I saw Coach Eugene say, "Get back, girls, get back on defense."
Well, they definitely have to get back on D. There's no question. Because you don't want this Richmond team to get on any kind of run where they become more aggressive out there on the floor.
Shaw from the outside rims that one around. She hit her first 2 threes, as that will be the end of the first quarter of play here in Canton. As Gilmour jumps out on top to a 12-5 lead. 1 quarter in the books. We've got more coming up here on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network.
The high school shot clock shootout on Rock Entertainment Sports Network is brought to you by True North Convenience Stores. Fast, friendly, clean. Download the True Rewards app today and start saving. And by Spire Academy. Spire Academy is an international high school and postgraduate sports performance training and education boarding school. Visit spireacademy.com for more information.
Well, second quarter getting underway here at the Memorial Fieldhouse on this rainy Sunday afternoon, but the action very dry in here. Thank goodness we're not outdoors. Now, Richmond Heights, Campy, when you look at it, what are they going to have to do to get back into this game?
Well, one, I think they have to do a little bit more trying to penetrate. They cannot just stand out here and throw the ball around the perimeter, because if you throw the ball around the perimeter, then you're playing right into a zone defensive ability. So it's all about trying to create some type of penetration, and if the Richmond team can get some penetration, they should be able to get some baskets.
Shaw now working it from the left side, throwing it up, but got fouled on the way to the basket. And the foul will be on Richmond Heights. And the foul is on Maya Johnson, her first. But look at that move by Shaw on that quick step.
It was all about quick step. That's why I keep saying that you have to get downhill. And you look at how Richmond is playing. They're playing from side to side. You cannot play that way, and because you're playing right into the defense.
Tia Shaw picking up her 7th point of the game. 13-5. Gilmour misses on the back end of the free throw, but they get the offensive rebound.
You got to win this 50-50 ball deal as well.
Demansky driving, not getting that one to fall. On the foul in the back court will be on Aubrey Terranova. That's her first. Good drive right there. But then on the battle for that rebound with Honor Hall.
They're just competing hard. You got to move the ball.
She has got to get something going as Comer working in. They tried to get it to Dixon. And Dixon, a 6'2 freshman.
Yes. And even in that situation there was that ball, the pass that was made was not a catchable pass. So you have to stop sometimes and take a good look and make the correct pass where your teammate can end up getting an easy basket.
6:50 remaining in this first half of action. 13-5 is our score. Nice pass on the interior. Then they work it to the outside wing. That three does not go. Offensive rebound, partially blocked underneath. There's another three from the left side. That one missing. And that one couldn't be saved by Terranova. Good hustle by Gilmour on this possession.
And that was a pretty good defensive stand by this Richmond basketball team as well. Again, Richmond has to do a much better job of trying to get into some form of offense. Yes, you look at Gilmour, they're playing somewhat of a zone. Yes, they are trying to slow this team down because they do not want this team running. But when you look at Richmond, they got to make better decisions out there on the court.
Honor Hall needs to get herself into this game. No points so far. She averages 21. Maya Johnson has been doing a lot. She has the basketball, working it to that right side, trying to cut inside.
But you see how far they're out on the floor. They're deep behind the three.
Long three. That one's short by Johnson. Now, on the floor here at the Memorial Fieldhouse, you'll see the high school line.
Yes.
You'll also see the college line.
Exactly.
Does that college line distract shooters?
You shouldn't even think about that line there because it's a blurred line for the most part. The three-point shot that they're supposed to be taking is right above the top of the key there, so that should not be an issue.
You don't want to go too far out. Take that step in.
Exactly.
It's closer. 5:45 remaining in the first half. Nice pass underneath. Too hard on that shot, but there's the young freshman, Dixon, coming up with a big rebound. Johnson up the floor.
again, they have to push the ball. They have to do a better job and stop playing behind the three-point line. That's basically where they're playing from.
And Gilmour just playing in that zone defense, just saying, okay,
yes,
take it out there.
Yeah, they extended it. You see how far they're out.
That shot off the back of the iron.
They don't think Richmond can make shots. That's why they're extending the defense the way they're extending it.
And Coach Kevin Byrne is going to tell her ladies, hey, if they want to take those outside shots, go ahead. We'll sit back in the zone. Kind of like a matchup. As soon as the person gets the ball, they come out on them.
Exactly, and that's why they have to try to get the ball inside.
So you see the difference in the defense. Richmond Heights, nice cut right there. Couldn't finish the basket. As Richmond Heights in the man-to-man, Gilmour coming back into their zone defense.
Yep. And Richmond is playing the man-to-man for the most part, but that's playing right into Gilmour's hand as well because they have a pretty good flowing offense.
And I think you're absolutely right. Look at where Richmond Heights is starting their offense. 22, 23 feet out, not really trying to get anything on the inside and not working it in the key.
That's true. And they have extended them because they don't believe that they can shoot the ball.
Big rebound there, picked up by Slocum for Gilmour now. Here come the Lady Lancers. Nice move, kicking it out. Shaw driving the lane on the baseline. Really, you got to hand Gilmour the way they've moved the basketball. But there's Honor Hall trying to really tighten up the defense. Up top, working it. Layup is good by Morgan Funstein. She has 4 in the game, and it's a 10-point Gilmour lead over Richmond Heights.
Gilmour is doing a great job of being patient. They're moving the ball, and when they see an opportunity to drive to the basket, they're taking that opportunity. And you look at the way Gilmour is playing. They do not want to play a man-to-man. They want to play what they're doing, and that is why this Richmond team continues to struggle because they're not moving the ball crisp enough.
There's another one that's missed off the back of the iron. Richmond Heights, they won 5 in a row after a brief 2-game losing streak where they lost to Upper Arlington and Lutheran East. And there on the drive was Celia Duffy for her first 2 points of the game. So they're trying to get back into their winning ways and continue it a little bit.
Well, again, for them to get back in their winning ways, they have to really push the pressure. Because, again, because the ball is just being dribbled out here, they're just dribbling up time. And they're not putting any pressure on Gilmour.
Expectations very high for Richmond Heights. Last year they made it to the regional semifinals with a 21-5 record. There's a long 3 off the front of the iron. Klein Rominski coming up with a rebound.
Well, this young lady here, Rominski, is playing a very good basketball game. You look at how Gilmour is playing, they're playing within the scheme of their game plan. And that is to be in an attack mode, looking to penetrate and break down the defense.
Maya Johnson getting called for the walk as her pivot foot kind of dragged a bit, but there you see that penetration again.
Yep. That penetration is everything because there's no rotation to the ball.
Looking at the young ladies from Richmond Heights, you could just see the frustration on their faces.
Oh.
Shaw coming in, couldn't get it to finish. This game, and we were talking about it a little bit, this game could be even a bigger lead if Gilmour were to finish those shots.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt.
2:20 to go in the first half of action. In the corner, a little bit better look that time, but that one was missed by Semiadio. And here comes the Lady Lancers down the floor again. Man-to-man defense by Richmond Heights. Shaw on that right side hit 2 3-pointers earlier on in this game. Klein Rominski in the corner. Nice pass, but batted around, out of play. It'll stay with Gilmour. Boy, Coach Eugene right there trying to figure out what can I get my girls to do. You could see the frustration on his face.
Well, there's no question about that. Plus, he has a limited bench. You know, you look over there, I think there's only 2 or 3 people that's sitting over there on the bench. So they are limited in that way. But it still should not dictate how they're going to play. You still have to go out there and play with a lot of energy and play the way you're capable.
Good weave on the outside. There is the long high 3 off the iron as it's rebounded by Comer, the 5'11 senior for Richmond Heights. 1:35 remaining in the opening half. Richmond Heights trying to cut this lead as they are down by 12, 17-5. And again, Campy really starting way out.
They extended them almost out the half court.
Nice pass on that baseline, working it to the outside. Honor Hall out there, struggling today.
As long as the ball is being passed back out to the three-point line, they're okay with that.
Shot clock down to 5, down to 4, down to 2. Got to get the shot off, and we're going to have a basket. They're going to call it, as Coach Kevin Byrne was hoping for a shot clock violation. Very, very close.
And that is the first interior basket made by Richmond, only because they took the ball and drove it right to the basket.
Morgan Funstein comes in, gets the basket, got fouled, as we'll take a look at that Richmond Heights basket with time perilously close, and Honor Hall gets her first points of the game.
Yes, and she is a person that should be scoring the ball, but again, it's all about keeping the floor spread, but you have to attack that basket. If you allow them to just stand there and be in front of you, then you're playing right into their hands.
Funstein gets that one to get the bounce on the friendly rims here in Canton. That's a shooter's touch.
Yes.
You know that.
The soft roll.
You know that from your playing days.
Yes.
I'm sure when you played back in the day in the NBA, you guys really knew how the rims played out.
Well, all the rims are pretty much what they are, but you have to also understand that if you hit the ball in certain areas, the ball is going to go in.
Just got to make the shots, and good interior pass like that.
A little penetration. Defense came to the ball. She made a pass, easy basket. They have to get more of that.
20-9. Lancers with the lead. Good inside move, but there's the drive. Off the back of the iron, doesn't go. And we'll have a foul on Richmond Heights underneath. Body control foul over there. We'll take a look at that last good interior pass there to Dixon, the young freshman. You get her, Johnson, and Hall really starting to work it inside.
Yep.
That's going to get Richmond Heights back into this game.
And again, that's why I'm saying that will change this entire game if they can get more penetration and bring the ball up fast. Don't just walk the ball to the floor, but bring it up fast. Advance the ball up to the person that's in front of you.
7 seconds left. There is an almost steal. We got 4 down to 3 as Johnson drives, gets it before the clock runs out. 5 points for Maya Johnson, and that really helps us. That cuts down the lead to 20-11 as both teams go into the locker room here at the half, and a much-needed basket by Richmond Heights. Richmond Heights gets on the board before the clock ends. We've got more coming up on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network.
The high school shot clock shootout on Rock Entertainment Sports Network is brought to you by True North Convenience Stores. Fast, friendly, clean. Download the True Rewards app today and start saving. And by Spire Academy. Spire Academy is an international high school and postgraduate sports performance training and education boarding school. Visit spireacademy.com for more information.
More high school basketball coming up. It is halftime. Gilmour Academy with a 9-point lead, 20-11. We'll have more coming up next on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network. Game 3 of the high school shot clock shootout underway here in Canton. There you see the coaches from Stowe getting ready for their next game coming up, but we still got another half of basketball. And Campy Russell, we'll take a look at some of these highlights from the first half, and it has been all Gilmour.
Well, it definitely has been all Gilmour, primarily because of how they have the ability to penetrate and kick out, how they've done a great job of creating deflections and end up getting easy baskets. And when you can kick the ball out and get easy baskets, that's playing right into the way you want to play. Dribble penetration. If you look at Gilmour, they're playing just the way they want to play. Pass and cut, pass and follow up, pass and get to the rim, and then be solid on the defensive side of the ball. And they have done a great job of that all afternoon long.
We've got a second half of basketball coming up as Gilmour leads it over Richmond Heights on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network. It's the start of the third quarter here in the shot clock shootout as Gilmour with a 20-11 lead, having the basketball to start it off. And these girls are very laid back.
And they really are.
And we're saying that because just before the start of the second half, before the inbounds, they were playing rock paper, scissors.
Yeah. Hey.
That's loose.
That's very loose, but they also have to remember they have to come and play this game. Wow.
And there's that pass inside as Klein Rominski picks up her 6th point of the game. 22-11 is our score. Gilmour outscored Richmond Heights 8-6 in that second quarter. On the drive, doesn't go. Hall coming back with the rebound and getting it in. That's a very important basket for her, 4 points.
That's the first play I've seen from this Richmond team where they attacked the rim and got a rebound and then put it back. That is what they have to have more of, is those second chance opportunities.
Now we're seeing Richmond Heights in a zone defense.
Yes. Well, you have to show them something different, you know. As long as you're showing them the same thing in terms of Gilmour, then they have the advantage. But you definitely got to show them something different. And you look at Richmond, they have to show Gilmour something different by attacking the rim and going more inside.
Ball knocked out of bounds off the leg of Maya Johnson, so turnovers each way. So we've seen in the first half, Richmond Heights going to man-to-man defense, Gilmour in the zone. Now we're seeing both of them go to zone in the second half.
Well, that may be the safe bet, is who's going to remain disciplined.
And there's that anticipation of the pass by Maya Johnson as she tries to work it up the floor.
Yes.
So now they have gotten a little bit of an advantage working that zone. Johnson from 3 off the side of the rim. She is just a little bit off on her shots, but Gilmour now trying to run it down the floor. Rossell, 3, no. It'll stay with Gilmour on the play. So it's like stop, start, trying to gear it up, get that speed going.
Well, to me, I think, you look at Gilmour, they have to continue to play the way they've been playing, which is to continue to try to dominate the game for the most part and get the shots that they want to get. As it relates to Richmond have to play more up-tempo. They have to look to get the ball up the floor as quickly as possible and not allow Gilmour to set up their zone defense.
And have a little bit more control, especially in that possession. Maya Johnson not having the control of the basketball and losing it and turning it over.
And sometimes whoever's ahead of you, you have to throw the ball to them and allow the defense to go to the person who has the ball. As long as they got it out front, then they're going to just stay right there in front of them.
22-13 our score as they work it inside, trying to work that zone against the zone defense. On the drive, putting it up, doesn't go. Maya Johnson will be called for the foul. That is her second. That'll send Celia Duffy, the sophomore, to the free throw line.
That was a good play there. She faked the shot. The defense came to her. She drove by him, and now she's at the free throw line.
Duffy with 2 points in the game. Missing on the first one. Checking into the ball game is Jemiah Ralph. And we talked about this earlier. Richmond Heights with only 3 on the bench, so they're going to substitute a lot.
Well, you're going to have to. You have to try to keep as many fresh bodies in there as possible, but at the same time, whoever those bodies are out there, they have to be productive, particularly when you look at the Richmond team, because they need to be more productive out there on the floor and start making baskets, getting to the free throw line.
Richmond Heights needing to take advantage after the 2 missed free throws by Gilmour as they have the basketball. Honor Hall on the drive to the left side. Too hard, just trying to get it off the window. Couldn't get it as they tried to get it inside to Dixon, and it will stay with the Lady Spartans of Richmond Heights.
And if you look at how Gilmour is playing, they are committed totally to playing a zone defense. And that is the problem that Richmond is having. They cannot solve that defense that they're playing against.
They get it inside to Dixon, the freshman getting the basket. Big points for her. She has 6. and the lead is cut down to 7 at 22-15. There's that three. That one was missed by Klein Rominski. Now quickly down the floor. Hall coming in, but the foul will be called on Elaine Klein Rominski. That's her first.
And again, Richmond need to have more plays like that, where they're pushing the pace and then advancing the ball to the player that's up in front of them to have an opportunity to score the basketball.
Timeout will be called by Gilmour, as we talked about it yesterday in our game. There you see Morgan Funstein. Her brother plays on the Gilmour boys team that played yesterday. Her dad was the coach at Gilmour. His brother is the middle school coach at Gilmour. So a family affair at Gilmour Academy.
Well, you know, that's not unusual necessarily, but again, when you can have all your family around and has created a program like they have created up at Gilmour Academy, that's the best thing going.
So there you see her as they try to get more of a good feel of the floor inside the paint. Now with Richmond Heights down by 7, 22-15. Very important possession for them.
They got to get a basket here just to keep the momentum going.
Honor Hall at 5'10", getting it to Maya Johnson.
They're showing the zone again. Get it right there.
Nice work inside, but they're going to call the travel. Maybe the crab step might have worked, but that time she just took that extra step.
I think she just made up her mind that she was going to go right. And sometimes you have to take a better picture. And in that situation, she did not take the best picture.
So as Gilmour comes down, there you see Dixon at 5'10", leading that zone defense up top. Good pass into the corner. Ball almost lost. Into the corner. There's Shaw. Boy, little trap underneath, but they work it. Baseline in front of the bench. That one does not go, and the rebound by Klein Rominski. Nice kick out on the inside. Oh, what a block there by Honor Hall, but Gilmour had another opportunity.
Well, there was a lot of possessions there by Gilmour. Again, you look at Richmond's team, they're just not getting on the boards like they should. They're allowing Gilmour to make any pass that they want to make, and they have to do better out there because right this particular point, Gilmour is controlling the game on both the defensive side and the offensive side of the ball.
Celia Duffy missing that one. She's 0 for 3 on the day at the free throw line. She has 2 free throws. You see the face of Coach Eugene right there. You see that frustration, but he's seeing that his girls can get back into this game.
Well, they definitely can get back in there, but it all comes from not giving up easy baskets like that. You have to box out, so that the person that's standing next to you cannot come up and get a rebound and score 2 points.
Klein Rominski now with 8 points in the game. Second chance points has really helped out Gilmour in this game. But Hall, 3, bingo, long distance shot there by Honor Hall. She has 7.
That was a good play. Good basket.
Cutting the lead to 6 in 2 possessions. Can they make a stop on this possession of Gilmour? Or they're ratcheting up, going with that matchup zone.
Yep.
Good voice contact in there as they work at the Shaw. Her 3, that's a big answer. Tia Shaw now with 10.
Good action there.
27-18. You get a 3, you answer the 3. Not that time.
No one was in position to try to get the rebound there.
That one a little too far out there for Richmond Heights on that 3-point shot. Working the weave up top against the zone defense. Hall coming out on the defense, and they work it into the corner. You see the good ball movement from up top to the corner. Then underneath, as the basket was hit by Elaine Klein Rominski. She has 10 in the game, and a timeout will be on the floor with 2:53. Richmond Heights calling the timeout. So we'll look at this three-pointer there. Big shot there that was hit by Hall, the All-Ohio. But then Gilmour came back and said, if you can do that, we can do that as well.
Again, it's all about the straight line drives and kicks. And you look at Gilmour, they're doing a much better job of driving and kicking and getting easier shots and even hitting the offensive and defensive rebounds as well.
Talk about balanced scoring for Gilmour. Tia Shaw with 10 points. Elaine Klein-Rominski with 10 points. And Morgan Funstein with 7 points. So pretty balanced by them. Then on the other side of the ledger for Richmond Heights, Maya Johnson with 5. Raquel Dixon with 6 and Honor Hall with 7. So both teams getting even scoring, but really the advantage is going to the Lancers of Gilmour High School.
Oh, there's no question about that at this particular point. Again, when you look at Richmond, they have to do a better job of moving the ball, attacking, not giving up so many offensive rebounds, not giving up wide open shots to Gilmour in the corners because no one is recovering. They just have to do a better job in those areas.
Well, Richmond Heights comes into this game. Their last game, they beat Orange 68-27. Hall in that game had 36 points. Johnson had 11. They held Orange to single digits in 3 of the 4 quarters.
Wow.
But right now, they're seeing their struggles. Yes. They had single digits on their own with 5 in the first quarter.
Again, they have to do a better job of passing the ball, recognizing situations. When there's a shot that's been taken, the bigger person, the bigger players on the team have to go to the front of the rim. They have to do a better job of getting shots off as well as stop turning the ball over.
You know, Dixon now again getting second straight walking call, trying to get that extra step, but the referees are saying, no, you're not going to be able to do that. Down to 2:18 in the third quarter as Gilmour still leading at 29-18. Good pass. Shaw outside. 3 ball. No. Too hard. Johnson coming up with it. Got to push it. She's looking to push the ball in through the 2 on the double team, and it can't fall in. Boy, that ball was just spinning on that rim and couldn't go through. The other way, it's hit by Rossell, the 5'7" sophomore, for her first 2 points of the game. 31-18 our score. Good transition that time.
It was good transition on both teams, but the only problem with that was one team made the right play, the other team did not make the right play.
Dixon coming in, trying to float that one a little too soft that time, trying to finesse it just a little bit, and she was a little frustrated on that play there as we look at the drive, splitting the double team, and it couldn't get it to fall. It's like you needed the English the other way.
There's just more frustration that we're beginning to see out there. But again, you look at Richmond, they have to continue to compete.
31-18 with 1:25 remaining in quarter number 3. Now they change up. They go back to man-to-man. And there's the easy points there by Terra Nova, who picks up her first 2 of the game.
No rotation there on the defensive side.
33-18. Lead slowly expanding. And Dixon trying to drive, got it partially blocked, loose on the floor. She'll pick it up again. She will come of age. She's only a freshman. And as the season goes on, she will get that seasoning and that experience in some of the big games that they'll be playing throughout this year.
Well, I'm sure she would. I think one of the areas that she needs to do a much better job at is really just bending her knees, getting herself in position to be able to jump, to be able to run, and what have you.
Honor Hall with a big 3. She has 10. And you saw that. We got a good view of that. That was a good high arching shot.
Yes. There's that penetration again.
And the basket is hit by Klein-Rominski. She leads all scorers with 12 as it's a 35-21 lead for Gilmour. Just when you think Richmond Heights can get something going, Gilmour answers back.
Well, Gilmour is just playing their game. They're playing the inside game. They're playing the dribble penetration game. They're knocking down. They're playing the drive and kick to their wide open shooters. I mean, they're just playing a good basketball game. They're playing the way they want to play.
That shot does not fall to end the third quarter. 3 quarters are in the books. Gilmour is still in the lead, leading at 35-21 right here on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network. Welcome back, 35-21, as we get ready for the start of the fourth quarter play. Boy, Tia Shaw has been the go-to person for Gilmour, hitting it from three all day long.
And Tia understands her game. She knows how to space out and get herself wide open. And when she's open, she has the ability to knock down that shot. She has the ability to put the ball on the floor and drive and kick. And then they have, again, being able to knock down shots. She's an outstanding shooter because she's prepared to catch the ball and to shoot the ball.
Richmond Heights having the ball to start the fourth quarter of play, finding themselves down 35-21 here in game number 3 on this Sunday afternoon in Canton for the high school shot clock shootout. As good anticipation there by Tia Shaw on a good pass up ahead to Duffy. She can't get it to go. Ball knocked out of bounds. Tia Shaw missing, working it down, and then able to get a hand on the ball, knocking it out. Still goes with Richmond Heights. So let's see what kind of a run. Richmond Heights hasn't been able to get a big run because Gilmour answers their baskets.
And plus they're showing them different looks. They're showing them man-to-man sometimes. Sometimes they're showing them a 2-3 zone. Sometimes they're showing them a 1-2-2 zone. I mean, they're showing them a lot of different looks. And you look at how Gilmour are playing, they're doing a good job of creating penetration. When you get penetration, you get a lot of good opportunities.
Richmond Heights getting it after making the stop. There is Hall from three. Nothing but net for Honor Hall. 13 for her.
And that was a good pitch up the floor to Honor Hall, and she was able to knock down that three.
Down by 9, they kick it back out. That's going to be a two-pointer. Towed the line, nothing going, a big stop for Richmond Heights. Let's see if they can get 2 in a row and get 2 stops in a row.
Richmond has to continue to try to push the ball. They cannot just allow this Gilmour team to just set up a zone.
Another 3, this time it is hit by Alana Scott, her first points of the game.
And the only way that you can shut down the zone is to start making shots. So hopefully Richmond can get on a roll by making shots, by making good, crisp passes. And this is just a great example of just passing the ball up the floor and being in position to take the shot. Another just pass up the floor, a pass and a shot. That's just creates rhythm. That pass creates all kind of rhythm. That is what the Richmond team have to continue to do.
Well, they start the fourth quarter on a 6-0 run, hitting 2 straight threes that you saw on our replay, and they knocked that one out of play. So if they can get another shot, get the open 3, they're right back into this game.
Well, for the most part, they are back in the game from where they were. But they have to understand, let's make sure we get quality shots.
And those last 2 threes were
quality shots, yes.
Another turnover, so that's 3 trips down the floor, 3 stops for Richmond Heights against Gilmour.
Well, they have to take advantage of these opportunities that have been presented to them here.
And they didn't have that opportunity in the first half.
Not at all, not at all. And again, you look at Richmond, they still have to be aggressive out there. Just don't settle for a 3.
As you look at Maya Johnson bringing up the basketball, they have hit 2 consecutive threes from the right side. Now they're going to try to work it to the left. High pick there. Another 3 ball. Oh! The bank is open on Sunday because she used the window. Honor Hall with 16. The lead is down to 5 and another turnover. No basket, no shot. And just like that, Campy.
Well, there's one thing about basketball, it's about making baskets and seeing it go through the hoop. Once you start seeing the ball, your energy level goes up. And that's what has happened with Richmond right here at this particular point. Now, can they continue to do that? Let's wait and see how they're going to play. But right now, they're being aggressive. They're doing exactly what they need to do.
Adam Mendoza along with Campy Russell here from the Memorial Fieldhouse in Canton for the shot clock shootout. As Richmond Heights on a 9-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Now you see that double team as they're really working to get that ball on the outside, putting the pressure, and they turn the ball over. Boy, you saw Coach White very animated over there. You saw Gilmour that time really turn up the pressure.
Well, you have to turn up the pressure because you don't want the Richmond team to get comfortable and start making shots.
Shaw trying to get back, doesn't get it to go. Offensive rebound by Funstein. Gilmour trying to work it inside. Klein-Rominski to the outside. Another turnover.
Richmond has done a good job to work themselves back into this game. Now they have to continue to make good, solid decisions out there on the floor as well and try to get more offensive rebounds and limit this Gilmour team from playing the way they want to play, which is up and down the floor and playing more under control.
Richmond Heights opening the fourth quarter on a 9-0 run. Very similar to the beginning of the game when Gilmour opened up on a 12-0 run.
And you see Gilmour has extended their defense. They look like they've gone to a man-to-man in some regards.
Johnson trying to go inside from the free throw line, hits it. It's an 11-0 run. 35-32, we're down to 3. Good pressure on the outside.
They have extended themselves.
Klein-Rominski trying to work it inside, kicking it out to Shaw. Open, 3, bingo, that ends a big run on a Russell 3. She has 5.
That was a big basket there.
Lead is back to 6. That ends an 11-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Almost 4 minutes of no scoring for Gilmour. Hall on the outside trying to shake and bake her way through. Dixon driving, lost the handle, got her pocket picked, and here comes Gilmour on the fast break. That one's missed. Rebound put back by Klein-Rominski. 14 points for her, and the lead goes back to 8 after it was cut down to 3, and a timeout is called on the floor with 3:49 remaining here in quarter number 4. Gilmour leading it 40-32.
I think that was a good timeout for both teams at this particular point, probably more so for Richmond. But Richmond has to continue to be aggressive out there on that basketball court.
Now, Richmond Heights really getting back into things as you look at Honor Hall hitting a couple of big threes.
Yep. And it was all because of the ball movement, the body movement. They were getting better quality shots. They were using their legs out there on the floor to get the ball up to the rim. And when you get in this kind of a mode, you become more confident out there on the basketball court, and that's what's going on. But also you look at Gilmour, they have not backed off as well. They continue to play the way they're capable of playing and not try to play outside of that.
Honor Hall, a third-team All-Ohio last year as a sophomore, 16 points in this game. Again, I said it earlier in the broadcast, a lot of expectations for this Richmond Heights team as they got to the regionals last year. They want to get back to that again, and when you get to that point of the season, when you're getting into tournament play, you cannot have these slow starts.
Well, you're absolutely right, but one thing for sure, though, they always have to continue to play as a unit. They all have to continue to give the ball up at the right time and make good, solid basketball decisions out there on the floor.
Now we're seeing three-quarter pressure being put on by Gilmour. Down to 3:45 in the fourth quarter.
That's just the disguise right there to make them think about something else.
Johnson looking, trying to get that high pick. Sending it off to Hall. There's that quick double team. Dixon driving the lane, kicking it out. 3-ball. Good rebound by Hall. Underneath. Basket is good, and she's going to get another opportunity. 18 for her.
That was a good heads-up play. They did not give up on the play, and that is why that basket was scored right there. They did not give up on the play.
And her presence to keep her feet in bounds on that baseline.
Honor Hall did exactly what she needed to do at that particular point.
19
and closed
points.
the deal by making the free throw.
A three-point play the old-fashioned way. Kind of like when you did it back in the NBA before the three-point line came out.
Yes.
Good trap up in the forecourt. And very smart play of calling the timeout, getting trapped in the forecourt as Richmond Heights really starting to put the clamps as they are down by 5.
Well, one thing for sure, when you cross over this half-court line, the worst thing you can do is to stop over in the corner. Because once you stop there, you're going to be double-teamed.
There you see Coach Kevin Byrne talking to his ladies, and there Coach Eugene White. Look, they've done a really good job in doing what they had to do to get back into
Yes.
this game here at this beautiful grand facility, the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. That's home of the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. Campy, you know, this building opened up in 1950, and it was originally housed, it played host to 4 high schools.
Yes.
McKinley, Timpkin, Lincoln, and Lehman. And I think you had a former colleague that you knew of that played here.
Well, there was a lot of colleagues that I know. Nick Witherspoon, who played in Illinois. Phil Hubbard, who I recruited to go to Michigan. You know,
Can't say that word too loud here.
I know I can't, but it's all done in love.
Really great athletes that
Yes.
played here in Canton, be it basketball, be it football, doesn't matter. A lot of great athletes here that came to McKinley or the other schools as well.
And I'm sure the great LeBron James also played here.
Oh, yeah. And there's a foul in the backcourt. And one thing, back in the day, up until the 1970s, they used to have a night where all 4 teams played in a doubleheader, and this place was packed.
Oh, wow. That had to have been really interesting. Because I'm sure there was a lot of camaraderie at that time. There was a lot of competition. So, hey, when you can have 4 of your best teams in the city playing against each other, that's always going to be a lot of excitement.
It was very interesting. Online on one of the social media sites, they were talking about public hall downtown where the Cleveland
Yep.
Charge are playing,
Yes.
and they had a great crowd over the weekend, over 5,000.
Yes.
And the MAC tournament playing downtown, they were saying, hey, why not go to public hall? And then somebody in the Canton area said, this would be a good place for the MAC tournament.
I think it's a little too small, though.
On the outside, working it in, good pass, but couldn't finish. That time was Funstein as she goes down hard to the floor and is racing back up. Johnson with 2:37 in the basketball, down by 5 for Richmond Heights. Dixon in the lane, kicking it out. Johnson fakes the 3, going in, throwing it up and in.
Wow. Look like we have a game on our hands here.
7 points for Johnson. 40-37. The lead is back down to 3. Can Richmond Heights get a stop? Shaw on the baseline, getting forced, and they're going to call the foul on Nalasha Comer.
This was just a beautiful play right here. Looking to penetrate. Should have been, maybe it should have been a 3-point shot play there, but hey, just keep playing.
So Richmond Heights at one point early on, they were down 12-5, down by double digits, and they've cut it down to 3 with 2:12 to go. Funstein, 3. No, air ball that time. Dixon coming up with a basketball. She needs to get some help. And they steal it away. Klein Rominski drives and gets the basket. 16 for her. Boy, nobody helped out
Yes.
the young freshman back there. Now the lead was at 3. It's back to
Rominski
5.
is very aware of all the things that's going on out there on that court. She has a real good sense of the game and how it should be played and being in the right place at the right time.
Johnson trying to work it to the outside. She'll get it back again. Coach Eugene White is trying to get it down back on that left side. Dixon inside the paint, lost the handle, but a good hustle play there by Simi Adio and a timeout before the possible walking violation.
No.
They called the timeout, but I think he called it just before she may
shot
have
the ball,
walked with
yeah.
the ball. Yeah. So you see, no help there.
None at all. That was the big play by Rominski.
You were down by 3. You turned the ball over. Now you're down by 5 with 1:19 to go. We've only had one shot clock violation in this game, and now with a 35-second shot clock and 1:20, for Richmond Heights, they're going to have to work quick. And for Gilmour,
Yeah.
kind of bleed that clock a little bit.
Well, one thing that has to happen, they have to get the ball off within 3 seconds.
Well, there you see Coach White calling for that
Just
timeout.
before the 3, huh?
Yeah. He moved very quickly to get the attention of the official on that far side as you look inside the huddle of Richmond Heights. They were down by double-digit numbers. They have come back. It started with an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Then it's been a little bit back and forth. When you look at it, 7 points only scored by Gilmour in the quarter.
Well, I think that's something that needed to happen for this Richmond team to get back in the game. But now that they're back in the game, they have 3 seconds to get the shot off. So the thing they have to do is to make sure that they are aware of that and make sure they get a quality shot here.
We will keep an eye on that 35-second clock. As my partner Campy Russell just said, there's only 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Enough time for a catch and shoot.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They'll inbound the ball near half court. Maya Johnson to trigger. Looking. Dixon with 2, throwing it up. Too hard off the rim. That's going to be a violation as it did not hit the rim off the backboard, and it goes to Gilmour with 1:15 remaining.
What's the shot they did?
That one was Dixon, number 4, that shot that one.
Yes.
I think she really rushed the shot that time.
Oh, there's no question about that.
So now the officials having a little discussion at the table. Only 5 fouls here in quarter number 4, so very clean game. Now Maya Johnson coming out the pressure, and
she did the right thing there.
Duffy was like, whoa. Shaw back inside. They work it. Boy, a little speed on the game. That 3 doesn't go. Dixon comes up with the rebound. Down to 1 minute remaining. 5-point lead. 3 ball. Off the rim. Rebounded by Richmond Heights. They get a second opportunity. 49 left on the game clock. 30 left on the shot clock, and they turn the ball over. Now, can Richmond Heights get a stop? 8-second differential on the clock and game clock. Richmond Heights trying to assert their pressure on the defense. Shaw with it. Gilmour looking to bleed that 35-second clock as it's down to 15. Almost a turnover, but they're going to call the foul on Alana Scott. That is the 4th team foul for Richmond Heights. Shot clock now comes off. Shaw with a basketball. Will try to play keep away and avoid the foul, but they don't avoid the foul as Raquel Dixon come in. Raquel Dixon, the freshman, getting the foul. As we'll take a look at that quick play and Shaw going in, getting the tiny shove.
What do they call?
They called the
2
foul.
shots, right, 2 shots.
So with the 5th foul in the bonus situation, 2 shots.
2 shots, okay.
Tia Shaw, the 5'5 senior, with 10 points on the day. Make it 11. She's hit a couple of big 3-pointers earlier on. She's one of 3 at the free throw line. She's hit a couple of big 3-pointers early on in the game to help Gilmour, and she nails the second free throw. 12 points for her. She goes 50% on the day from the line at 2 of 4.
Actually, this turned out to be a well-played game, a game that became very competitive, and I think that's a good thing.
We saw runs at the beginning of the game with Gilmour. We saw a run in the 4th quarter with Richmond Heights.
Yep.
Down to 14 seconds as Dixon gets it off to Johnson. She'll throw up a long 3 off the back of the iron, and that should about do it, as all Gilmour has to do is walk it up the floor with 2 seconds remaining, and that is going to be the ball game as Gilmour comes up with a 44-37 win here at the shot clock shootout, as you look at Coach Kevin Byrne coming in and getting the congratulations to the other ladies. For my partner Campy Russell, I'm Adam Mendoza. Final score, Gilmour wins this one 44-37. We thank you for joining us here on the Rock Entertainment Sports Network.